Okay, I'm going to do my weekly review, market review. I'm going to start off with ES, the S&P. Okay, looking at the weekly chart, uh, we we were making higher highs this week, and last week we made a higher, not last week, but the week before last we made a higher high. This last week we got stuck. We kind of got stuck here at the 50 week moving average, this purple line, which is also, if you when we get to the daily chart, you'll see that that's where the death cross is, and where I was saying it's kind of wait and see once we get in there, because a lot of times the market has a tendency to reverse and come back down when we go back in there. But this doesn't necessarily mean it has to happen all the time. It'll happen this time, but that's just something to watch out for, and that's my wait and see. I was bullish once I saw this candle close higher than this candle. I was bullish up until this point, and right now we're just kind of thinking about it, I guess. Uh, we're on the 50 RSI on the weekly, which is kind of also a wait and see moment, and see if we're gonna get above the 50 and stay above there, or head back down lower. So that's where I see the market as far as the S&P, where it's at right now, kind of like a wait and see situation. Uh, so that's what the weekly looks like. Let's go to the daily. All right. Yeah, see, this is the death cross. This is the purple line, and the gold line, or yellow line. The yellow line is the 200, and the purple line is the 50. And it's the 50 is when the 50 crosses under the 200, it's called a death cross. So right now we're just sitting in the middle of it. We and then when I later we'll see NQ, which is the Nasdaq, and you'll see how it's just bumping against this 200 day as resistance, heavy resistance. So let's see. Yesterday, or not yesterday, but Friday, we got a doji candle, which is an indecision candle. So again, the market is just wait and see. We don't know whether we want to push up or push down. A lot of people will say we push down only because we have a habit of doing that when we get back into this golden cross. But one saving grace is that we got into the golden cross, but this 50 provided support. We got back down to the 50, and we got back up right again. Then still not quite making it to the 200. I think NQ is what's keeping ES from actually hitting the 200, because NQ is actually at the 200 right now. So it seems like right here, and this level right here where S&P is, when NQ is hitting the 200, and it's preventing the S&P from getting to this gold line, the 200-day moving average. All right, so that's where we are. As far as the daily RSI, we're almost at 60, which we've been holding above the 50 RSI, which is good. We haven't. That's not a sign of bearishness yet. But yeah, we're in this kind of range, this wait and see situation. Oh, there's one thing I did add to the chart. This green, this little thin green line I added to the chart. I was hipped to this thing because I want to start trading the hour exclusively. I'm going to limit my trading. I'm on a challenge for at least the month, the rest of the month, only 2 trades with minis per week. And I'm trying to force myself to be patient, because I know that's one of my bad things, and you can't go to the higher level unless you confront and eliminate the things that are keeping you from going to the higher level. And the one thing for me is just patience and holding a good trade. If you've got a good trade, you want to get the most out of it, because then it'll pay for your losers. So in order to force myself to do that, I am with this hour. This green line is only good for the hour chart. Is actually the daily 5 EMA. Because, let's see. On the daily, the 5 EMA, for me, is important. If we're below the 5 EMA, I'm definitely bullish. If we're above the 5 EMA, of course, there's other obstacles. Like in this situation, you've got the 20. In this situation, you've got the 50. But if we're in a trend, like right here, If we're below the 5 EMA, I definitely want to go short. And if, like, for example, when we're here, we're in a trend going up. If we're above the 5 EMA, I definitely want to go long. But I wanted to see that on a smaller scale, like on the 1 hour chart, which is the chart I'm trading. And so what I had to do is extrapolate the numbers. The This is the will basically be the 5 EMA on the daily. So there's 23-hour candles in a daily candle because the futures market is open for 23 hours. They close for 1 hour. So since there's 23-hour candles in a day, you just say 23 times 5 because this is the 5-day moving average. And then you change the length to that number. I think it's 115. And this will be the 115 bar moving average, which would actually be the daily, but you see it on the hour. You can't pay attention to this line on any other time frame but the hour. And on the hour, this will basically show the 5-day moving average on the hour chart. And as you can see right here, throughout the day on Friday, we hit this green line, and it provided support, and we kept coming up after we hit it. We kept coming back up. And if you look on the daily, you can see how we did that with the 5 EMA, which is the black line on the daily. We wicked off of it with this daily candle. So I think it's a good tool, and I learned this from one of the websites, YouTube videos I like to watch or whatever, that you can do this so that you can get a higher time frame moving average on a lower time frame. And it's pretty cool. So I just wanted to share that. So I know everyone doesn't use moving averages, but I like to use moving averages, and I think this is a good tool to use when I'm trading on the 1 hour. I always know where the 5 EMA on the daily is. Okay, so ES, let's go to NQ because it's pretty much the same. Let's look at the weekly. Okay, yeah, the same. The 50 week moving average, the purple line, is pretty much resistance. We did have a higher high here and a higher high with this candle, but right now we're just, this past week, we're just kind of like waiting and see. We're looking at and seeing. We're on a 50 RSI, which is also a wait and see moment. Let's go to the daily. All right, yeah, like I was saying before, the 200 is just resistance on NQ. We're just bumping against it. Each time we bump against it, we fall right back down, which, we're not making a lower low. That's one thing, because we had this low, then we got as far as the 20. And with NQ, we didn't even get to the 50. We did get to the 50 with the ES, and we just came right back up to try to ram through that 200, but there's a lot of selling pressure right here. It's gonna have to be something that's gonna make the market or the big institutions want to buy and get above this 200-day moving average, which is very important to, especially a lot of institutions. The 200-day moving average is a lot of times above the 200-day is buy, and below the 200-day is sell. So we got to see if we can break above this. Like I said before, I was bullish until we got into this area, and then it was wait and see. So right now we're just kind of chilling out and seeing what's gonna go down. All right. Okay. Next, we're gonna go to gold. Let's see. Yeah, last week I got a put on gold that did not work out at all, and I realized it last week when I was doing this review, when I realized we could not stay below the 5 EMA, and then I realized it had been support for a long time. Gold likes to use the 5 EMA on the weekly. It has been support for a long time. And when I realized we didn't close above it that week, I got kind of hesitant. So I got in and we gapped up the next day, and I just got out, and I took like nearly a 50% loss, but it happens. So yeah, on a weekly with gold, we're still doing pretty good. We took a little rest here, But what I'm still afraid of as far as continuing to go up is that when we hit all-time highs this time, we had this huge wick going down. And then we didn't make it to all-time highs, but we got up pretty high. And then we wicked down pretty hard. So I don't know if gold's on his last leg right now, that maybe we'll have more of a pullback, because we have these small, subtle pullbacks to the 5 EMA on the weekly, which is probably more like the 20 EMA on the daily. Yeah, we get down to the 20. This one we had a more significant one. We pulled down to the 50. But yeah, we get a lot of support at the 20 EMA on gold, which is somewhat near the 5 EMA on the weekly. Yeah, so we got here. Let me just check something really quickly. I want to check the 4-hour. Which is kind of like what they would call a supply zone. Most people will call the supply zone somewhere between here and here. So we got into the supply zone, and when we got into once we got into the supply zone, we just fell down pretty hard on gold. We got these two big red candles right after we hit that area. But the thing is we're still getting support from the 20. We get to that 20 EMA. We got there here. We pushed up. We got there here, a little bit below it, and we pushed right up. But we have not closed above the 5 EMA. This is the daily chart. We didn't close above the 5 EMA on Friday. So we'll have to see if we can make that jump above the 5 EMA on Friday. I'm sorry, on Monday or Sunday night, which is tonight. And we'll see what happens. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of wait and see with gold as well, because it's definitely not looking as bullish as it has looked. But, gold can also do this. We can do this consolidation pattern for a while. So we'll see with gold. All right, now crude, I haven't really been watching a whole lot. Okay, the weekly, we jumped up. We didn't quite make it to the 5 EMA, but it looks like we hit our previous low. We hit this previous low, and we got a lot of buying pressure, and we bought that up. So we'll see whether we start getting closes higher and making higher highs on crude to see if we're gonna maybe jump up a little bit. But crude's so choppy. That's why I really don't like to trade crude a whole lot. It has a lot of choppy motion. All right, and this is the daily. So yeah, we pretty much got to this previous low, just about, and then we came back up, and we had the 20-day moving average as resistance this day. We wicked a little, we got above it, and we wicked back down below it to close below it. So does that mean we're going to fall right back down? Who knows? We'll see. The fact that we have a double bottom, a lot of people would consider that as bullish, because we didn't make a lower low. We formed a double bottom, which would kind of tell some people that this is an area that people think is a good price to buy. And that's why when it got back to it, they bought it up again. So that's where we are with crude. We're still pretty low on crude as far as it's like around $60, I guess $61 a barrel right now, which it had been stuck not getting lower than this for a while. But we're still low. All right, so that's crude. And that's it for the week. Like I said, I'm challenging myself for this month. I've been doing well, and I had challenges. I went from the 1 minute to the 5 minute, and that was pretty choppy. I took some losses, and it got kind of choppy. But then I got really good at the 5 minute. But I still have aspirations to pretty much trade the higher time frames. I would like to do less trading, but more quality trading. And I have to force myself to do it, because I've gotten in the habit of taking these small scalps. And that's not the kind of trader that I want to be. And then I'll be going back to work at some point, and it'll be a lot better if I can just take the fewer trades with higher quality trades, once I get back to work, I won't have the ability to take the scalps as much as I am able to do now and sit and wait for the perfect scalp. Uh, so yeah, this week was gonna be interesting, and I know it's gonna be a rocky road, but I've definitely I've done it before. I can do it again. I can change my habits, and when you change your habits, it becomes natural, and that's the only way you want to do things because you know you see it works. You figured out a way to make it work, and that's how you grow. You grow by changing and becoming better. So I'm gonna try to do that this month. I know it's going to be hard. I'm going to be tempted to take scalps, but I'm only going to give myself, I'm going to try to hold myself to too many trades this week, each week for the month, and see how it works. Okay, but that's it for right now. We're wait and see for us. It looks like we're pretty much wait and see for ES, the NQ, and GC. Even crude a little bit, if anything, I would say if any of them, I would be a little bit more bullish on crude, only because of this double bottom. Of course, we can very well fall down. And I'd probably be a little bit more bearish on gold because we couldn't make a higher high and we couldn't close above the 5 EMA. But otherwise, with ES and NQ, it's wait and see. I got to see NQ close over that 200-day moving average, and the same for ES. So that's my weekly review. All right, take care. Bye-bye. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.